Hi, how you doing? I'm Carolyn Kimmel.
And I'm Scott.
We're coming at you live from the Michigan Athletic Club in East Lansing, Michigan. And once again, we just finished another team training, and we're here to bring you some really interesting news.
Yeah, today we want to talk about goals. A lot of times when people approach us, they ask, what can we do to start working out? So the first thing I ask, and probably Carolyn asks, is where you want to end up. What is your goal? It's really important to understand where you want to be in order to get there. So to start, I recommend start by visualizing the end. So know where you're going so you can make good goals. In contrast, there'd be two different types of goals. If you want to be a bodybuilder, it's going to be a totally different workout than if you want to be a runner, say distance or sprinter. So work by the acronym SMART. We're going to teach you to make SMART goals. SMART is the acronym, so we're going to work through a specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals. So SMART actually going to work with that acronym. So the first thing is S, be specific. Make your goal a specific goal that you want to attain. Let's take, for instance, you want to be a runner. Do you want to be a distance runner, or do you want to be a sprinter? You might have to make your mind, because again, you're going to have two different types of workouts. Next one, let's work with, it has to be a measurable goal. So say if you're a runner, your goal is to decrease your time by 3 seconds. Well, if you're a distance runner, it's going to be a lot easier to take 3 seconds off your distance time, your mile time, as opposed to being a sprinter. You really can't take 3 seconds off your 100 time. It's really hard. You can take tenths of a second, but if you're a good sprinter, it's hard to take 3 seconds.
Also, when you're measuring, it's important to know when you achieve your goal, how do you know when you're there? So that's kind of another part of measuring your SMART goal.
So your goal also has to be attainable. Like I just mentioned, if you want to take 3 seconds off your distance time, it's a lot easier, and you probably won't attain a goal of 3 seconds off your sprinting time. The next thing, let's work on to R. So the goals have to be relevant. They have to be relevant to what you want to do. So you're going to have to, your goal may be spend more time in practice, because that's going to be relevant to understanding your foot placement, lock starts, anything to do with running. So you may have to spend, instead of just going in and doing a few things for about an hour, you may need to spend extra more time with a coach. Get a specific coach maybe for your specific event. Alright, let's move on to T. Should be time bound, meaning you have a specific time period for when you want to achieve that goal. So say if you're a runner, you want to be able to decrease your mile time by 3 seconds at your next race. Maybe it's in a week, maybe it's in a month. We want to work towards that time bound goal, because it gives you a point of reference. It gives you that point where you're going to say, I attained my goal, or I have to work harder.
Also, if you want to build into that, it's helpful to decide what days you're going to be trying to work on your goal, right? So let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. I'm going to do this specific thing. And 30 minutes, if it's a 30-minute thing, then make sure it's 30 minutes. If it's an hour thing. So you want to really make it a scheduled event, and you'll have a better chance of success if you actually build it that way, instead of saying something like, well, I'm going to work out a few times a week. That's kind of vague, so you really want to be specific in your timeliness.
Okay. So we talked about making SMART goals. Let's take it a couple steps further and make them smarter goals. So we're going to add an ER on the end.
Okay.
Some people might not be familiar with the ER. So the E stands for evaluate. Evaluate your goals. One of the things I like you to do is understand the impact of those around you and those involved. Specifically, are you going to have the time to do it? Are you going to have if you're spending more time with an event, it's going to take more time away from maybe your personal life, your family, or your job. And also, can you monetarily afford it? Can you sink not only the time but the money into doing that? You may have to invest in some new equipment, or invest into working with a trainer a little longer, so it may cost you more. Now let's look at the R. Redo your goals. R, redo. So you may have to reset the goals. You evaluate them. Maybe it takes Maybe it's not going to be realistic. Maybe it's not going to be attainable. Maybe circumstances have changed in your life since you started working towards that goal. So feel free to redo the goals or reevaluate them.
Yeah, you're never stuck. It's never engraved in stone. You're always, I encourage people to shift their goals to accommodate their life. Things happen, things change, right? So we have to be able to go with the flow and be okay with that and just start again.
Right, there may be changes in resources, responsibilities, or may unforeseen impact on your family members or friends.
Life changes.
Yeah, definitely, life changes. So there's a couple tips to make your goals not only smart, but smarter. So put these in effect and mix up your workout, and we'll see you next time. And as always, thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing.